हेलो एवरीवन। मैं हूं सप्तदीप एंड वेलकम टू ई नेस्ट, द ऑल इंडिया रैंक प्रोड्यूसिंग फैक्ट्री। आज हम गेट एक्सी एक्सेल 2026 का क्वेश्चन पेपर को डिटेल में क्वेश्चन बाय क्वेश्चन डिस्कस करने वाले हैं। अब व्हाट इज द इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग? सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट बात है, गेट के बाद सबसे पहला काम पैनिक करना? नो, पैनिक तो करना ही नहीं है, बल्कि पेपर को अच्छे से समझना होगा एंड अच्छे से एनालाइज करना होगा। ओके, इनेस्ट पर हर साल more than 40% students top institutes like IITs, NITs, ICT and NIFTEM जाते हैं। एंड अगर वो कर सकते हैं तो आप भी कर सकते हो। चलिए, अब बिना टाइम वेस्ट किए हम लोग स्टार्ट करते हैं आज का सेशन विथ क्वेश्चन नंबर 1। क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 इज ergotism is caused by ingestion of grains infected with. Okay, what all are the important things that we need to remember is ergotism. Okay, so please remember, ergotism is a kinda alkaloids. Okay, and where we can find it? We can find it in a rye plant. Okay, that's why it is also known as ergot of rye. Okay, and this is caused, it can leads to, what are the things that it can leads to? It can leads to gangrene, then convulsions, and sometimes hallucinations. Now, what's our question? Ki, what is the causative organism that can cause the ergotism? Please remember, the causative organisms is Claviceps purpurea. Okay, you can remember, in enzyme, remember EC number, that is enzyme commission number. But here you can remember EC means ergot claviceps. Okay, you can remember like this. So question 1, the correct answer is option D, claviceps purpurea. Okay, I hope it's clear to all. Now, moving forward to the second question. Match the following. Very simple. Okay. Column 1, the first thing is E. coli. E. coli is basically gram negative, rod shaped, non-spore forming. Okay, please remember, guys, these are the major causative microorganisms in food system. Okay, and what all are the properties of these causative microorganisms? If we are talking about Escherichia coli, then it is gram negative, rod shaped, non-spore formers. It means P with 2. Okay, then what is Q? Q is Bacillus subtilis. Bacillus subtilis is gram positive, rod shape, and spore formers. Q3. Okay. Next is S. aureus, means Staphylococcus aureus. Staphylococcus aureus is gram positive, round shaped, and non-spore formers. Okay. So R1. And L monocytogenes means Listeria monocytogenes, which can cause a disease called listeriasis. Okay, so which is basically gram positive, rod shape, and non-spore former. So S4. So it is P2, Q3, R1, and S4. Okay, 2314. That is option number C is correct here. Okay, please remember this time get asked these questions, but apart from these questions, there are so many microorganisms. You need not to remember all the microorganisms, but those organisms which is basically related to food system, you can remember all their characteristics with respect to the staining, with respect to its shape, and with respect to whether it will produce spore or not. Okay, now moving forward to the next question. Okay, carmine. Okay, carmine, a food colorant, is derived from. Okay, this is a very simple questions. Okay, they are giving a hint in this question. They are giving a hint in this question. Okay, it is basically a natural red colorant, natural red colorant extracted from Dactylopius coccus. Okay, please remember कि carmine is a natural food color. Which color? Red color, which can be extracted from Dactylopius coccus. Okay, so question number 3, the correct option is answer option B. Okay, you can remember for next year कि what are the approved and non-approved food colors, because this time they asked the question from organism, okay, or from source, but next time they can directly ask about the compound. Okay, not to the source, they can directly ask from the compound for 2027. Okay, next, which of one of the following carbohydrate is not a storage polysaccharide? Okay, we have to majorly think about three things. First is carbohydrate, second is not, and third is storage polysaccharide. Okay, so first option is starch. From this, it is pretty clear that starch is basically a storage polysaccharide in plant. Okay. Second is glycogen. Similarly, storage polysaccharide for animals. Third is chitin. Chitin is not a storage polysaccharide. Okay. It's a structural polysaccharide. Which can be obtained from fungal cell wall. Okay. And dextran. Dextran is basically a polymer of glucose and majorly storage polysaccharide for microbes. Okay. So next thing here is the correct option is option C, chitin. Okay. So for question number 4, the correct option is option C, chitin. That is not a storage polysaccharide, but it's a structural polysaccharide. एक छोटा सा अपडेट बिफोर वी मूव अहेड, हमने गेट एक्सीएक्सएल 2027 एस्पिरेंट्स के लिए एक फ्री व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप बनाया है। ग्रुप का लिंक पिंड कमेंट में है। ग्रुप ज्वाइन करते ही आपको मिलेगा फ्री गेट स्टार्टर किट। क्या मिलेगा? फ्री गेट स्टार्टर किट, जिसमें स्टडी मटेरियल, प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस, प्रिपरेशन रोड मैप और डेमो क्लासेस के एक्सेस मिल जाएंगे, ताकि एक्चुअल प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट होने से पहले आप समझ पाओ कि रैंकर्स कैसे प्रिपेयर करते हैं। अगर आप 2027 के लिए सीरियस हो तो ग्रुप जरूर ज्वाइन करो, बिल्कुल फ्री है, बिल्कुल ही फ्री है। चलिए अब नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन देखते हैं। विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट इज ट्रू फॉर हाई प्रेशर होमोजेनाइजर? ओके, नाउ this is a very simple question. We know homogenizer. Homogenizer means homogenizer is a device where we can reduce or break the either any liquid globules or any fat globules or anything for a uniform mixing, okay, or to maintain its uniformity. Homogenizer takes place option A due to only uniform mixing of solid to liquid. No. Solid particles in the suspension are disintegrated due to high shear rate. Yes, exerted by the liquid. True. High pressure stream is injected to dissolve the solid. No. High pressure stream is injected to dissolve the solid. No. Okay. So solid particles in the suspensions are disintegrated due to the high shear rate, as we are giving the high pressure in the homogenization system that can be exerted by the liquid. Okay, so when it will be done, it can form some cavitation bubbles. Okay, it can form some cavitation bubbles, and after the formation of the cavitation bubbles, due to high shear rate, there will be bursting of that proper cavitation bubbles. So from larger size molecules, we are getting small uniform molecules. Okay, now homogenization takes place. Before moving forward to the next question, I just wanted to tell you ki please remember the basic mechanisms for homogenization. What are the things? High shear rate, force also. Okay, next is turbulence. Third is cavitation, and fourth is impact. Okay, now so here for question number, the correct option is B. Now moving forward to the next question. Coconut oil. Just remember, coconut oil we need to mark out. Contains a small fractions of USFA, that is unsaturated fatty acids. Okay, small fraction USFA, but still has a low melting point due to the presence of. Out of all the oils, okay, coconut oil is the exception, which is having mostly medium chain saturated fatty acids. Okay, please remember why coconut oil has a low melting point, because it has having mostly medium chain saturated fatty acids such as lauric acid. Okay, apart from that, it has having lauric acid which is having a 12 carbon and 0 double bond. Apart from these, what all are the important saturated fatty acids that it is having? Caprylic acid. C8:0. Okay. Next. What is the next? Next is capric acid. C10:0. Now, what is next? Next is myristic acid. Okay. What is myristic acid? Myristic acid has having 14 carbons but 0 double bonds. So please remember, this is an exception case. Though coconut oil is a plant oil, it has having some unsaturated fatty acid fractions, but it has having a still low melting point due to the presence of mostly medium chain fatty acids, which is saturated in nature, such as lauric acid, caprylic acid, capric acid, and myristic or myristic acid. So for this, the correct option is option B for question number 6. Okay. Now, moving forward to the next question. Which of the following amines or amines produced as a result of protein degradation are of foul smelling? Okay. Please remember, these are cadaverine and putrescine. Okay. Option B and D. Option B and D. What are these cadaverine and putrescine? See, histamine and tyramine. These are like certain compound that can be generated from amino acids. Histamine is from histamic acid and tyramine is from tyrosine. Okay. Amino acids. Okay. So cadaverine and putrescine, what are these? These are basically cadaverine and putrescine are basically biogenic amines. Okay. Produced during protein spoilage, which results of foul smelling. Okay. So please remember this. So for question number 7, the correct options are option B and option D. Okay. Next. Now, very good, very simple and important questions. Okay. Find out the Reynolds number. One by one, we are writing down the values that is given in the problem. First, water is flowing at 100 liter per minute. See, if we are giving any values with respect to any units, what is the first thing? We have to convert it from any given unit to SI or the standard or the MKS unit. Okay. So what is given? The volumetric flow rate is given. Volumetric flow rate U is given, that is 100 liters per minute, right? Now, this is not the actual SI unit or the MKS unit. We have to convert it into meter cube per second. Okay. So, 100 into 0.001 meter cube, because 1 liter is 0.001 meter cube upon 1 minute is 60 seconds. Okay. So, when you do calculate this, you'll get a value of 0.00167 meter cube per second, right? Now, what is the next thing given? For the pipe with a diameter of 5 centimeter. Pipe diameter D is given as 5 centimeter. It means 5 upon 100 meter, that is 0.05 meter. Okay. Assume the coefficient of viscosity means dynamic or absolute or coefficient of viscosity will be given as 0.001 Pascal second, that is denoted as mu. Okay, and the density is given as 1000 kg per meter cube, right? Now we have to find out what is Reynolds number. Okay, so what is the thing we already know? We already know this Reynolds number is inertia force by viscous force, that can be denoted as rho into velocity into diameter of the pipe upon coefficient of viscosity, right? This is the basic formula. Everything is given apart from the velocity. So from the equation of continuity, we know Q equals to area into velocity, right? So Q will be given area as it is a circular cross-sectional pipe. So the area will be pi into diameter square upon 4 into velocity. Now we don't know what is velocity. Velocity is 4q upon pi d square. Okay. So what is Reynolds number? We know Reynolds number is rho Vg upon mu. In terms of V, we can put this value. Okay, 4q upon pi d square. Rho into d upon mu into 4q upon pi d square. See, each and every value will be given. Okay. D cancel out. So it is 4q rho upon pi mu d. Just put the value 4. Q is 0.00167. Okay. Into rho. Rho is 1000 upon pi is pi. You can put 22 upon 7 also, or you can put 3.14 also, or you can put directly as pi also. Okay. Next, mu. What is mu? Coefficient of viscosity, that is 0.001 Pascal second multiplied by d. What is d? D is the pipe diameter 0.05. So when you calculate this, you'll get a value of 42526.200. You have to take the nearest integer. So it is 42527. That is a turbulent flow. Okay. So this is it. Right. See, this is the trick for doing any type of numericals. What all are the given values? At first you have to write, and what is the formula you already know. Now try to interchange the unit or doing some conversions. Okay, you'll get the value. Okay. So देखिए, अगर आपको लग रहा है कि इस साल थोड़ा गैप रह गया, तो क्या करना है? तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप वीक हो। इसका मतलब सिर्फ ये है कि आपको एक प्रॉपर स्ट्रक्चर्ड वे पे प्रिपरेशन करना है, एंड आपको एक राइट मेंटरशिप चाहिए, राइट? इन इस पर हम लोग क्या ला रहे हैं? गेट एक्सी एक्सेल 2027 के लिए एक कंप्लीट एंड टू एंड बैच स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं, जहां आपको क्या क्या मिलेगा? डेली लाइव क्लासेस, हर सेशन की रिकॉर्डिंग्स, पर्सनल मेंटरशिप, वन ऑन वन गाइडेंस, PYQ with detailed explanations, topic wise and full length mock tests, short notes, revision classes, doubt sessions, and the important thing is AI powered performance tracking. Like आप अपना लेवल सेट कर सकते हो कि आज अगर मैं 20% कर रहा हूं, कल मेरे को ये खींच के 40% करना है. Then you can start your preparation in a proper detailed way. Okay, अर्ली बर्ड डिस्काउंट अभी अवेलेबल है जो वैलिड रहेगा 5 मार्च 2026 तक. डिटेल्स और एनरोलमेंट लिंक डिस्क्रिप्शन एंड एवरीथिंग पिन कमेंट में है. अब चलिए, बहुत हो गया बातें, करते हैं पेपर को कंटिन्यू. अ वेरी सिंपल क्वेश्चंस अगेन. क्या है? इट इज अ वेट सॉलिड वेस्ट मींस it's a very simple mass balance problem, right? A wet solid is fed to a dryer. Suppose this is a dryer. हमें पूरा क्वेश्चंस नहीं पढ़ना है. जैसे ही क्वेश्चंस पढ़ते जाएंगे we have to think like what is the approach for solving the question. Okay, a wet solid fed to a dryer. Okay, suppose this is a dryer at a rate of 5 kg per second. So this is the feed rate. Feed rate. Okay, that is given as 5 kg per second. Okay, as you are drying any type of feed rate, so you'll get a dried product, that is P, this is F, and during the drying operation the moisture will be removed. It means water vapor is removed, W. Okay, so the dried is this drying operation is can be done by hot air or using hot air. Okay, in this process its moisture content is reduced from, so feed moisture content is 25%. It means what is the total solid content? It is 100 minus 25, that is 75% total solid. Okay, and the dried product, the moisture content is 15%. It means the total solid content is 100 minus 15%, that is 85%. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to first do the total solid balance. Okay, what is the total solid balance? Feed into percentage total solid of feed is equals to product into percentage total solid of the product. Okay, everything will be given except the flow rate of the product, that we need to find out the mass flow rate. Okay, see, feed is 5, percentage TS is 75 upon 100, that is 75%, and P is P and it is 85%. Okay, so what is P? P is the product flow rate, 5 into 75 upon 85, that is 4.4117 kg per second. Okay, so we know what is the mass flow rate of our feed and what is the mass flow rate of our product. Okay, so now what we have to do, we have to do the mass balance. Feed is equals to water vapor plus product. So water vapor is feed minus product. Okay, feed minus product is 5 minus 4.4117, that is 0.5883 kg per second. Okay, so the rate of water vapor removal per second means this is the rate of moisture removal. Okay, so the answer is 0.5883 kg per second. It is in a range that will be given by the gate papers, rounded up to 2 decimal places. It means the proper answer is 0.59 kg per second. This is the answer. Okay, chalo, moving forward for the next question. The following, very simple. We know aflatoxin can be produced by flavors. Okay, Nisin is a natural antimicrobial system found in dairy system which can be produced by Lactococcus lactis. Fumonisin can be produced by Fusarium verticilloids. Okay, and Shiga-like toxin can be produced by enterohemorrhagic E. coli. 0157 is to 87 wala variant. Okay, so aflatoxin P is 4Q. Nisin is 3R. Fumonisin is Fusarium. And S is for Shiga-like toxin is 2. 4, 3, 1, 2. Now we have to check. Yeah. Option C. For question 10, the correct option is option C. Right? Chalo. Moving forward for the next question. Very simple again. Guys, कुछ भी बोलो. This time गेट का पेपर तो भाई बहुत आसान है. ओके चलो कॉन्फिडेंस टूटना नहीं चाहिए जोश इज हाई विटामिन B1 you know what is the chemical name for vitamin B1 it is thiamine so only one option is related to vitamin B1 that is thiamine pyrophosphate vitamin B2 what is the chemical name you know riboflavin okay so in column 2 FAD is related means flavin adenine dinucleotide Q4 pantothenic acid act as a coenzyme A vitamin B12 you know the chemical name is cyanocobalamin so it is with methylcobalamin and folic acid you know related to tetrahydrofolate so P related to 3 Q related to 4 R related to 5 S related to 2 T related to 1 3 4 5 2 1 3 4 5 2 1 yes for this match the following correct option is option A okay now moving forward to the next question that is which one of the following proteins brings about the coagulation of milk in the stomach of calves yes you know proteins means it should be some protease this is the mota concept okay now we know renin what all are the different source of renin if it is from animal origin then it can be obtained from the lining of the young calf of fourth stomach that is true stomach or abomasum okay so yes you got the answer it is renin only alpha lactoferrin no lactoferrin is natural antimicrobial system alpha lactalbumin and beta lactoglobulins are whey protein fractions okay now the second thing is if we are obtaining renin from the plant source means there are 3 types of source you can use from papaya to papain from fig to ficin from pineapple to bromelain and if you want renin from microbial rennet then you can get it from Rhizomucor mehi and Rhizomucor pusillus microorganism okay so it is basically a acid protease which is renin okay so question number 12 the option is A renin okay now moving forward to the next question the next question is again a match the following essential compounds okay what all are the essential compounds the essential compounds are clove you know clove is eugenol option 3 butter the flavoring compound of butter you know that is diacetyl orange means limonene okay naringine and limonene naringine cannot be an there is no option for limonene but yes apart from limonene naringine can also be there okay Now lemon. Lemon is citral. Apart from this, neral and gerardial. Okay, neral, gerardial, and citral. And garlic. Diallyl disulfide or allyl propyl isosulfide compounds. Okay, so for P, cloves, the option is 3. For Q, the option is 1. For R, the correct option is 2. For S, the correct option is 5. And for T, the correct option is 4. So 3, 1, 2, 5, 4. 3, 1, 2, 5, 4. Yes. For this matching, the correct option is option D. Okay. Now, moving forward to the next question. What is the next question? The next question is, in vegetable oil, okay, resist oxidation. This is the line, that is the catch. How we can resist oxidation? To use antioxidant. Okay. And what are antioxidant means? Which can scavenge the free radical and prevent the oxidation. Okay, now there are two categories of antioxidant. One is natural and one is synthetic. What is natural antioxidant? Vitamin C, that is ascorbic acid, and vitamin E, that is tocopherol. And what are the synthetic antioxidant? BHA, that is butylated hydroxyanisole. BHT, butylated hydroxytoluene. TBHQ, tertiary butylated hydroxyquinone. PG, propyl gallate. Okay. So vegetable oils resist oxidation and maintain their quality for a long period of time due to the presence of, from the options, it is pretty clear that you have to use an antioxidant, and the correct option is option A, tocopherol, but because it is the chemical name for vitamin E. Okay. Hydrolytic enzymes such as lipase, no. Microorganisms such as mold and yeast, no. Carbohydrate, no. So for question 14, the correct option is A, vitamin E. Okay. Now, moving forward to the next question. For a given temperature, difference between top and bottom surfaces of a flat metal plate, Fourier law of heat conduction implies. What is the Fourier law for heat conduction? What do you know? That is Q. Q is basically rate of heat transfer. Rate of heat transfer, that is joule per second or watt. Okay, is equals to minus, means the direction. K is basically thermal conductivity. It means, what is the unit? Watt per meter Kelvin or watt per meter degree Celsius. Okay. Minus K, A means heat transfer area. Heat transfer area, it's in meter square. Okay. Ka into delta T by delta X. What is delta T? Delta T is temperature difference. It can be in degree Celsius also or Kelvin also. Okay. And delta X means the thickness. It's in meter. Okay. What are the two terms you have to know? You have to know Q by A, that is heat flux. It is known as heat flux. What is the unit? Watt per meter square. Okay. And delta T by delta X is temperature gradient. Temperature gradient. Okay. What is the unit? Degree Celsius or Kelvin per meter. Now, what we have to check? Temperature gradient increases with increasing heat transfer area. See, from this equation, A is directly proportional to 1 by delta T upon delta X. So, if the temperature gradient will increase, area will decrease. Okay, and if the area will increase, the temperature gradient will decrease. So, the option is wrong. heat flux is proportional to the thermal conductivity of the metal. Okay. Q by A is minus K in delta T by delta X. So Q by A is heat flux is directly proportional to K. So it is correct. Heat flux increases with the increase in thickness of the metal plate. See, from this equation, it is pretty clear that Q by A is directly proportional to 1 by thickness. So if the thickness will increase, the heat flux will decrease and vice versa. So wrong. And the temperature gradient, see delta T by delta X. Okay, delta T by delta X. See, if the thickness, see in denominator, if the thickness value will be decreasing, it means the overall value will be increasing as thickness is in denominator. Okay. And the thickness will be increasing, then the overall value will be decreasing. So temperature gradient decreases with an increase of the thickness of the metal plate. Yes. So what all are the correct options for these given questions, which is related to Fourier law of heat conduction is option B and option D. Okay. Like this is a very conceptual questions. Okay, like these type of questions you can definitely expect in your next year gate. Okay, like these are like very important and very conceptual questions. Okay, now moving forward to the next question. What is the next question? Xylo-oligosaccharides can be produced by, okay, hydrolytic degradation of xylene. Xylene is a complex polysaccharide, okay, polysaccharide. If you want to hydrolyze this polysaccharide, or if you want to break down the polysaccharide with the help of some acid like HCl or hydrochloric acid, then you can get a zygo-oligosaccharide. Okay, so option A is correct. Hydrolysis of starch, no. Enzymatic hydrolysis of lactose, no. And enzymatic hydrolysis of xylene containing lignocellulosic material, yes. See, xylene is a complex polysaccharide. How to get the oligosaccharide? Just you have to break down the complex polysaccharide. How you can break the system? You can break the system with the help of different types of degrading agent. It can be some hydrolytic degradation also by some acid, or it can be some enzymatic hydrolysis also. Okay. So if you are using xylanase enzyme, xylanase is basically an enzyme which is responsible for the breakdown of xylene, okay, which is present in lignocellulosic material. Okay, so if you are breaking down the xylene, which contains some lignocellulosic material, then you can get the zygo-oligosaccharides. So here the correct options are option A and option D. I hope it is clear to all. Just remember, if you want to get a complex polysaccharide to simple sugar or oligosaccharide, just you need to break down. That breakdown agent can be anything. You can do with the help of some acidic agent, that is basically a hydrolytic degradation. You can acid some basic agent also. You can use some enzymatic hydrolysis by use of some enzymes. Like one common example is pectin can be pectin breakdown can be possible by using of pectin methylesterase or polygalacturanase. Okay. And what is the target enzyme for pectin? You all know that is pectinases or pectinase. Okay. So for question 16, the correct options are option A and option D. Okay. Now, moving forward to the next question. In alpha helix, the R group, okay, R means the functional group basically. It can be anything. Ethyl group can be methyl group, some sulfur containing group, anything. Some acid group, some thiol group, some imine group, anything of the amino acid residues. See, if it is something that is related to functional group, remember functional group is always at the any end, either can be left also, either can be right also. Any end, that end is outside of the helix. Okay, suppose it is a helix. I'm just giving you the DNA structure. Okay, suppose it is a helix and some compound is there. Okay, some functional group is there. That group can be some any end, any end. If the protein structure is like this, functional group can be present in this end also or this end also, but it is definitely outside of the helix. Okay, so these are found in outside of the helix. Yes, true. Participate in the backbone, hydrogen bonding and stabilize the helix. No, not. Allow formation of the right hand helices. Yes, if it is present, if any R group is present in the right hand side, they can form the right hand helices, or if it is present in the left hand side, then they can form the left hand helices. That I've already told you. If in the both the end, functional groups can be present. Okay. So for this protein based questions, the correct options are option A, option C, and option D. Okay. Guys, don't confuse. See, these two are confusing options. Allow formation of the right hand helices and left hand helices. Don't confuse. These are correct options. Okay, this is the MSQ. These are correct options because functional group can be present any of the end. Okay, though amino acid is having both of the end is like one end has having COOH and one end is having NH2 plus, NH4 plus or NH3. But if any other functional group is there, then it is like only the end only. Okay, so if it is in left hand side, then it can form left hand helices. And if it is right hand side, then it can form a right hand helices. But remember, it is definitely found outside of the helices or the R group. Okay, so the correct options are A, C, and D. Now, moving forward to the next question. During constant pressure cake filtration. Okay, this is a filtration based question for an incompressible cake. Incompressible cake means throughout the filtration process, the density of cake is constant. So density का कोई काम नहीं है. Okay. Deposited uniformly over a constant filter surface area. Okay. क्या क्या है? Just आपको remember क्या करना होगा कि for filtration लाइक जब फिल्ट्रेशन प्रोसीड हो रहा है तब केक थिकनेस किसके ऊपर होगा? इंक्रीज द रेजिस्टेंस. ओके, एंड decrease the rate. This is the 2 point that you have to remember. Okay, so the cake resistance remains constant? No. Cake resistance increase in proportion to the cake thickness? Yes, true. Filtration rate remain constant? No. Filtration rate decreases with time? True. Means when time passes, you'll get a less filter. That means the filtration rate is decreasing as time proceeds. Okay. And with respect to the thickness, the resistance will increase. Okay. So for this question number 18, the correct options are option B. The cake resistance increases in the proportion to the cake thickness, and option number D, that is the filtration rate decreases with time. Okay, now moving forward to the next question. Yeah, favorite topic for all the GATE aspirants. Logarithmic mean temperature difference. कुछ नहीं करना है, ड्राइंग बनाना है, खत्म करना है. Hot oil is being cooled to a counter current. Let's go. Counter current means this is for the hot fluid. This is for the cold fluid. This is the hot inlet. This is the hot outlet. This is the cold inlet. This is the cold outlet. Okay. It is basically for a double pipe heat exchanger. It will be given double pipe heat exchanger. Okay. Hot fluid inlet is 410 Kelvin. Hot fluid outlet is 340 Kelvin. What is hot fluid? Hot fluid, hot oil. That can be chilled or that can be cooled with the help of chilled water. Chilled water is a cold fluid. Inlet temperature is 290 Kelvin and outlet temperature is 330 Kelvin. Okay. So what is the delta T1 here? Delta T1 is 410 minus 330, right? So that is 80 Kelvin. And what is delta T2? Delta T2 is 340 minus 290. That is the temperature difference, high to low. Okay, that is 50 Kelvin. Now, what is the formula we know? Delta T LMTD. Delta T log mean temperature difference is delta T1. If delta T1 is greater than delta T2, then the formula is delta T1 minus delta T2 by natural log of delta T1 by delta T2. Okay. So what is delta T1 is 80 minus 50 by natural log of 80 by 50, right? So 80 minus 50 is 30 upon natural log of 50, 0, 0 cancel out, 1.6. Okay. So when you put it into calculator, you'll get a value of 63.829 Kelvin. But what you have to put in your website during GATE exam, round it off to 1 decimal place. It means you can put it as 63.8 Kelvin. This is the answer. Okay. This is a very easy and very simple question. Okay. Very easy and very simple question from heat transfer. Okay. Now moving forward to the next question. The next question is, a cold storage room has a double layered wall. Okay. The inner layer is 10 centimeter thick. इस क्वेश्चन पढ़ने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. जो बच्चे मेरे से पढ़े हैं उनको पता है क्या है ये है बेसिक हीट ट्रांसफर के प्रॉब्लम. कुछ नहीं करना है, फॉर्मूला लिखना है, वैल्यू पुट करना है, खत्म करना है. क्या व्हाट इज द फॉर्मूला? Q इक्वल्स टू KA delta T by delta X. This is the overall general formula. Okay. But cold storage में क्या है? Double layered wall है. For that, Q by A, as you have to calculate the flux. Flux previously I have told you that is rate of heat transfer upon heat transfer area, that is in watt per meter square, is K delta T by delta X. It means delta T by delta X by K. Okay. This formula is applicable if the cold storage is having only one layer. As it is a double layer, so the formula is a bit changed. It is delta T upon X1 by K1 plus X2 by K2. What is X1? X1 is the inner layer thickness which is made up of insulation, fiber insulation board. See, thickness is also given, and for insulation fiber board, K is also given. And for the outer layer, the X2 concrete is there and the thickness is also there. Okay. And the temperature difference is also there. Inside cold room 260 and ambient outside is 300. So just put the value. What is delta T? Delta T is T1 minus T2 by delta X1 by K1 plus delta X2 by K2. Okay. T1, that is 300 minus 260 upon X1. X1 is 10 centimeter thick. That means 0.1. You have to convert it in meter. I have told you any unit can be given in your paper, but when you are solving the problem, you have to convert it into SI or MKS or standard unit. Okay, so 10 centimeter is 0.1 meter upon K is 0.048 plus outer layer is 15 centimeters, so 0.15 upon 0.762। ओके, अब तो कुछ नहीं है, जस्ट फॉर्मूला में जस्ट कैलकुलेट करो एंड आंसर विल गेट 17.543 watt per meter square. Now you have to take up to 2 decimal places. It means the answer is 17.54 watt per meter square. This is the answer. Okay. So 17.54 watt per meter square. Okay. This is a very simple question from heat transfer through conduction. Okay. Now moving forward to the next question. What is the next question? The next question is a tubular centrifuge separate a 5 micron particle. Okay. We don't know anything. What is given that we have to write first. First is given as tubular centrifuge. Okay. Okay. 5 micron particle. Particle is given as 5 micron. That is 5 into 10 to the power minus 6 meter. Okay. Density is given. Density is given as 1500 kg per meter from a slurry. Okay. Now this slurry is fed a volumetric flow rate. Volumetric flow rate is given 0.5 meter cube per second. Okay. And the equivalent clarification area I have to find out. Means you know Q equals to area into velocity. So area, this area you have to find out. Before that you have to find out the velocity. Okay. As it is for the separation. So this velocity is a terminal velocity. How you can calculate? You can calculate with the Stokes law. Okay, what is Stokes law? Stokes law is Vt is equals to g, acceleration due to gravity, dp square, particle diameter ka square, into rho particles minus rho fluid by 18 into coefficient of viscosity. Assume g 10 meter per second square. Okay. Density of water. It means here density of fluid is a water. Density is given as 1000 kg per meter cube. And coefficient of viscosity mu is given as 10 to the power minus 3 Pascal second. Now put the value for calculating the Vt. Vt is equals to g dp square. dp is diameter of the particle is 5 micron. So you have to convert it in meter. That is 5 into 10 to the power minus 6 ka square. G dp square rho particle. Like from slurry. 1500 minus rho fluid. 1000. G dp square OP minus rho upon 18 into mu 10 to the power minus 3. So if you calculate this with the help of the gate calculator, you'll get a value of 6.9444 into 10 to the power minus 6 meter per second. Now it is very simple to you. You know the volumetric flow rate, you know the velocity, just you have to find out the equivalent clarification area. So Q equals to area into velocity. Velocity is Vt, terminal velocity. What is Q? Volumetric flow rate is given as 0.5 A into 6.9444 to 10 to the power minus 6. Okay. So what is A? A is 0.5 upon 6.9444 10 to the power minus 6. Okay. So when you calculate, you'll get a value of exact 72,000 meters square. Okay. So the equivalent clarification area is 72,000 meters square. You have to give it in integer. Okay. I hope this question is clear to you guys. Okay. कर लिया हमने सब सॉल्व. तो यही था आज का सेशन. नाउ गेट एक्सीएक्सएल 2026 के इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस का डिटेल डिस्कशन हमने कर लिया प्रॉपर्ली। अगर वीडियो हेल्पफुल लगा हो तो लाइक जरूर कर देना, ठीक है? देन सब्सक्राइब भी कर देना ताकि नेक्स्ट एक्सप्लेनेशन मिस ना हो। ओके, एक बार फिर याद दिला देता हूं मैं, फ्री गेट एक्सी एक्सएल 2027 व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप ज्वाइन कर लो और अपना फ्री गेट किट एंड डेमो लेक्चर का एक्सेस उठा लो। ओके, और अगर आप नेक्स्ट ईयर ऑल इंडिया रैंक की रेस में सीरियस हो तो गेट एक्सी एक्सएल 2027 बैच ज्वाइन कर लो। अभी अर्ली बर्ड डिस्काउंट भी अवेलेबल है 5 मार्च 2026 तक। डेट दिमाग में रख लो, क्या है डेट? 5th ऑफ मार्च 2026। ओके, कमेंट में आपका रॉ स्कोर बता देना या तो क्वेश्चन नंबर लिख देना अगर आपको कोई डिफिकल्टी फेस हो, हम उससे नेक्स्ट वीडियो बना देंगे। ओके, ताकि आप लोगों को कोई भी दिक्कत ना हो। ओके, मिलता है नेक्स्ट वीडियो में। डिसीजन आज लोगे, रैंक मिलेगा कल। बाय बाय।